Hi, I'm Skinny Cheeks. The Week 4 PTS patch notes are here, and as usual, there aren't too many changes. Week 3 is usually where we see the last of the majority of combat and balance tweaks, but we do have a couple of things here. First off, fixed an issue where slotted passive effects that persisted through bar swap, such as Grim Focus, could benefit targets under the influence of Oakensoul or Werewolf. So this was an interesting little interaction with some of those new buffs that persist on both bars. You could actually slot stuff on your back bar, like Bound Aegis for example, and benefit from that 8% max magicka while you were using Oakensoul on the other bar. So this is a bit of a nerf, but it does make sense. Oakensoul's design is with the intent of limiting you to one bar, so allowing a skill on your back bar to still have an effect, well, I can understand why they're not allowing that, but it will still work as a back bar option on 2-bar builds. And then the next change is to Inferno staves. So let's do a quick recap of Inferno and Lightning staves over the course of the PTS. For week 1, Inferno staves, we're going to add 500 flat damage to the first tick of each status effect that you deal damage with. In Lightning staves, we're going to add 12% to channeled and damage over time abilities. In week 3, they changed those up a bit. Lightning staves were given channeled and direct damage abilities instead of the damage over time. And Inferno staves were given a 12% boost to damage over time instead of the status effect damage. So one of my initial points of feedback over that was Lightning staves were given a main damage type to improve, which is direct damage, and then a more niche damage type, the channeled damage, while Inferno staves were only given a main damage type in the damage over time. So they have addressed that now. With week 4, they're adding 12% status effect damage as well to Inferno staves. However, there is one main problem with this, and that is for most setups, 90% or more of the status effect damage you are getting is coming from burning, poisoned, and bleeding, which was already boosted in last week's version of this, since those 3 are dots. So you already had the 12% boost there. So really, compared to last week's version, you're only gaining 12% to the other 5 status effects: overcharged, concussed, chilled, diseased, and sundered. And these don't really typically account for much of your total damage. So 12% to those, I don't think that's really going to make a noticeable difference over last week's version of the Inferno staff. Now for Wardens, this could be interesting with their increased chilled damage, since that procs so often. 12% more to that sounds nice, but many Wardens are already running an Ice Staff, not an Inferno, to benefit from their class passive that boosts your damage when using an Ice Staff. Then we have Nightblades, who can get a fair amount of overcharged damage, but even that boosting by 12%. In this example here, it's only adding about 270 DPS, almost nothing. And Inferno Staff really isn't going to synergize well with the Nightblade anyways, since they are mostly direct damage and would do better with daggers, bow, or a lightning staff. So what I think they should have done is add back on that flat status effect damage boost if they're going to go this route, instead of the 12%. And that way the 3 main damaging status effects, burning, poisoned, and bleeding, would also see an additional bump from the week 3 to 4 changes. Maybe not the 500 that was initially proposed. Maybe that's a little too high with both of these bonuses here, but something that boosts the flat damage of the ticks instead of having it percent based. We are pretty late into the PTS at this point though, so we'll see if anything further can be adjusted with this. But that is it for the week 4 changes. Let me know what y'all think. These are just my initial reactions, so it's always possible that I overlooked some usage. So let me know if you think I missed the mark with my feedback here and why. Thank you so much for watching. Big shout out to my current Patreon supporters and YouTube members. The contributions help a ton to keep the website and YouTube channel going. And a special thanks to Nicholas, Simon, Cougars Bay and the Cougar City Guild, the Order of War Guild, Cantankerous Cat, Shady, Iffy, Blake1816, Mordecai 1212, Santanico, Vidridi, Florian, Phoenix, Nalandia, Unemployed, Cristeliana, Cha-Cha, Technical KO, and Cap. Thanks again and see you later. Bye.